Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishna Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Sri Ramakrishna is giving us the higher ideals of human existence. Balram comes from a family of devout Vaishnavas. His father, now an old man, is a pious devotee. He has tuft of hair on his head and a rosary of tulsi beads around his neck and a string of beads in his hand. A typical Vaishnava is the follower of Vishnu. Vishnu as the chief God. The aspect of the Lord of the universe when he is governing or managing or sustaining the universe. The sustenance is met by management, is done by Vishnu. Same power, same consciousness, same individual, the cosmic consciousness which pervades everything and gives existence to all that, governs also as a Lord of universe, just by his presence. His powers work. Just I am there, my eyes see my own power, with my own power. Through my eyes I see, through ears I hear, I speak through mouth, I move through my legs. I do all activities through my power, I and my power. Chit Shakti and Chidatma. So here all activities are done by the Prakriti and Chaitanya is there. And that when the management, creative process, management and sustenance, and then dissolution. At the time of same Chaitanya, when the power changes from creation to sustenance is called Vishnu. During creation, the same person is called Brahma, and the same universal consciousness, cosmic consciousness, at the time of dissolution, because the power changes, the activities changes. So is called Maheshwara. So we will have different versions of God, and following one of the versions of God as Vishnu, they are Vaishnavas. For them main thing is love of God, service of Vaishnavas, devotees of Vishnu, means actually not Vishnu means all Vishnu dhatu, from Vishnu dhatu, Vishnu, Jishnu, Vishnu, one who pervades everything, Vishnu to all pervading. Vishnu dhatu is all pervading. Vishnu is one who pervades everything. The Vishwa Chaitanya which pervades, the individual Chaitanya which pervades the body is called Jivatman. The cosmic consciousness which pervades the whole universe is called Ishvara or Paramatma. Jivatma and Paramatma. So that aspect of. So whoever is worshipping God, who is devoted to God, who is leading a honest life of devotion, is generally called as Vaishnava. And then one of the Vaishnavas means devotees, one of the sign of Vaishnava or a devotee is that he serves God and his one who takes refuge in that God. in any aspect. He need not be a Vaishnava. Suppose he is devoted to another aspect of God. In Hinduism, we differentiate in name and form and powers just for the sake of my likings. But acceptance, total acceptance of other aspects of God is there. Vaishnava, Shakta, Shaivas, all, they understand when we say it is God is Satchidananda, ocean of bliss, and one wave is Rama, one wave is Krishna. Dive in any wave, you enter the same ocean and wave. So we will not have any difference. If one of the child is worshipping Vishnu, another child of the same parents may be worshipping Shiva, there won't be any conflict, internal conflict, like a religious or any differentiation. I like it. So just like we eat, when people go to hotel, they order different things. I want masala dosa, I want idli sambar, different items. There is no conflict. Why are you eating this? Why don't you eat this? No. Yes, accepted. We find joy. So when somebody is worshipping God in some other way, it is acceptable. And again we see in Hinduism, like Krishna telling, Ya yatha mam prapadyanti, tam tathaiva bhajamyam. Whoever is worshipping God in any form is worshipping me alone. Sarvadeva namaskaraha keshavam pratigacchati. Whoever is offering his salutations to God, it goes to one and the same God. So ultimately there is one appearing as many. This concept is there from ancient. So there is no conflict between like a religious understanding. We don't differentiate. They are called denominations of the same cult, with different denominations. So Vaishnava is one who serves the devotees and who loves God. Main two things. And repetition of God's name. Nama Japa, Bhagavat Prema, and Bhakta Seva. These three are the main signs of the Vaishnava, a devotee of Vishnu. So we see him carrying a japamala, rosary, a string of beads in his hand. He devotes his time to the repetition of God's name. We are born, we breathe. With every breath, our life is consuming. Life is going away. We are all moving towards death. Every moment we are moving towards death, our life is getting cut, reduced. Countdown has begun. The day I was born, it is going to end one day. So, with each breath, what did you do? What did you do? Here, he is repeating the name of God. He is calling on God. You see, time. What a beautiful explanation. Wordsings, you see. He devotes his time to the repetition of God's name. His life, I saw on the banks of Narmada. One person, he was a kisan, farmer. He'll be doing all the works. He has kept few servants. He'll be looking after them, sitting in a corner, continuously, never keeps the japamala down. Going on doing. And his mother was still alive. She was telling, he has begun it in his school days. From school days, As soon as he come from school, he used to take the japmala and start doing japa. His reading and studies was very little, but he used to pass the exams. But all the times we used to do, and now also. He got married, he finished his education, his farmer work continued, but the japmala, he is continuing in the hand all the time. He is going and telling to do this, that and all. Japmala is continuing. What would happen to that soul? What would happen to that heart which is constantly repeating the name of God with all activities? Bharat Maharaj's Japamala in Belur Math, he was for a long time manager of Belur Math. So his jap he used to do all the time almost. And his japmala had become flat, beads wearing out on the hand. It has worn out in the hand, and here it has become so hard by constant moving. Like when you do gymnasium and all, how the skin become very hard, like foot. Like that he had the hand doing. I saw so many Swamis non-stop there be doing japa. Like that, it's calling on God. I don't want to disconnect from God. Something reminding, something holding on. Another part of the japa is the mind's tendency is always to go outward. It is going always outward, like rays of light. It always goes out. And japa is a constant repetition. It is cyclic, goes on. And so that cyclic movement comes. My father in our young days, school days and all, he used to ask us to repeat Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya in a particular rhythmic tune. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That cycle will go on. That is, we can understand and see it coming back and merging again in the, just like any of the kirtanas, Sankirtana. Sankirtana means a small phrase-like thing we go on repeating. Shri Ramakrishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Ramakrishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Ramakrishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Ramakrishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Ram. Again it begins. It is going in a cyclic way. Japa goes on in a cyclic way. When it goes on in a cyclic way, the mind's tendency is always to go outward. It gives a tangential force for the outgoing. The mind starts revolving in a particular direction. It goes on revolving. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Or Om Shri Ramakrishna Sharanam Mama. Goes on and on. And as our absorption, concentration and absorption come only when there is love. When my love awakens, when a little love for God comes, then I start getting absorbed. I start getting concentrated, my mind. And then we see the circle is becoming smaller and smaller. The circle, now it starts becoming still smaller. As my concentration increases, it becomes smaller, 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 smaller. Then it becomes one-pointed to penetrate into the various layers of my existence, Annamaya, Pranamaya, or Maya's veil I have to cut and go through. So all this becomes possible by the repetition of the japa. Now he is repeating, and you can see his japa slowly taking him to deeper and deeper concentrations and slowly making him sink within. This is one aspect of japa. Another is, japa is a constant stream, like a fountain falling down. It is coming from within and it is. And when I see the form, now I am visualizing the form of God and repeating the mantra. I am just repeating the mantra. Mantra is emerging out. When I am concentrating in my heart on my Ishtadevata and repeating mantra, the mantra starts going inward. Instead of coming out, emerging out, it starts going inward. My each repetition is going inward. When japa's stream, japa dhara, when it starts going with the viveka dhara, jnana dhara, jnana and viveka, mantra is there, falling, the japa dhara is supported by love, prema. Prema, it's prema dhara. It is repetition of mantra, there is love. In jnana dhara is supported by viveka. Prema and viveka are the supporting factors for love and flow of these three, jnana dhara, mantra dhara and prema dhara. When they join together, it reaches the unconscious mind. Unconscious mind we cannot penetrate. Whatever touches heart will enter into unconscious mind. Unconscious mind, even psychiatrists, psychologists, so many people who are well read cannot enter into anybody's unconscious mind, what is within it. You can see a child, when we throw a bow and catch, it does like this. The whole life, now and then it will be getting a dream, falling from the top somewhere. It will be again and again. It has entered into unconscious mind. Whatever touches heart, enjoyments, love, hatred, all these enter into unconscious and remain there like tiger behind the bush, hiding. We will not know it is there inside. When the proper situation comes, it jumps out. I will never know commonly that I have anger. But when situations come, I will get such an angry, even the Rudra will get frightened. Who is supposed to be the terror. Terror gets frightened. That much of anger I can show. It comes out. It is not artificially made. It emerges. It was hiding all the time. So it remains in the unconscious mind and comes out. Like that, the unconscious which we can never reach, these enter into unconscious. And anything that enters into unconscious cannot be removed, eliminated, dislodged or destroyed. You can't destroy it. It gets converted. Some of the desires, some of the things which are harmful, it will be destroyed, like Vishnu chakra or Sri Krishna's chakra. What is it called? Chakra's name? Huh? Sudarshana Chakra. Like Sudarshan Chakra, it will destroy many of the things which cannot be eliminated by any means, which are very harmful. And others are transformed, divinized. I wanted to build a house, big house, nice house, I will build one ashrama. I wanted to have children, I will have disciples. I wanted to do nice dishes, chapati and all that, and I will do offering for God, Naivedya. So my desires are transformed into a holy action or divine actions. Inner desires are transmuted. It is undergoes a change and emerge out in a different way. All my desires are emerging out, hiding, anger, this, that will be hiding inside. They all get fine things to express itself. So there we see whole thing in a different. So japa has that capacity and power to enter into our unconscious and transform the unconscious by turning it divine. It is divinized. All things, whatever defects are there, entered, and whatever good also are there, everything. Good vasanas are also will be there. Bad vasanas also will be there. Everything will be divinized. Good vasanas need not be beneficial. It can be harmful also. Suppose you have done great good work, serving some person who is on the deathbed or anything, you get some good result out of it. You get one fine wealth or something, or health. If God gives wealth or health, what will I do? I will go and start enjoying. It will be, it will create harm. So, good need not be holy, spiritual. When it's spiritualized, it has. So everything we have to spiritualize and divinize. So here we see he is carrying a japamala and beads, a string of beads in his hand, and devotes all time in the repetition of God's name. Rare nowadays, rarely we see, but we do see. And these people, Vaishnavas, when we say ISKCON and all, they insist on constant repetition of God's name, Ishtadevata, mantra japa. Almost all people will go on repeating, holding one mala, putting on a hanger at neck, and go on doing japa. There was one Swami, he was president of Mutt and Mission, Shantanandaji. He used to always say, Japat Siddhi. Don't do anything, just call on God, just to do japa. You'll realize God, just to do japa. Don't break. Unceasing prayer, like unceasing japa. Go on repeating the name of God. Par ho jaoge. You'll cross over, you'll realize God. So there are, I have seen with my own eyes many Swamis going all the time. Gitanandaji Maharaj. He'll be sitting, he has to give lecture, he's sitting on the dais, but he's going on repeating the mantra. And if you see the Thakur's mother, all these elderly people, especially the women people of Bengal, you see everybody was sitting with Swamiji's mother, you see her sitting with a japamala, Thakur's mother sitting with a japamala. All this. I went to an ashrama at Kashimat. All Swami's photos are put there. All Swamis are sitting with a japamala. I went to a monastery, Buddhist monastery, all are moving with japamala. Even other religions, they have their own mantras to repeat. Very nice. The varieties of japamalas are there, repeating in various ways. All the time to the repetition of God's name. Nama, Namni, Abheda. Name and God's name and God are not different. Because God takes the form of name that can be given by a guru to the disciple. Guru is putting in the disciple's heart the God. He is putting God in the form of mantra. Mantra is, God has taken the form of mantra and entering into the jivas and manifesting again as the God. Repetition of God's name. He owns much property in Odisha and has built temples to Radhakanta in Kothar, Vrindavan and other places, establishing free guest houses as well. And this is one thing Thakur loved most. Serve God, serve people, serve God, serve people. He has established so many temples, the different places. He has done in where people commonly come, Tirtha Kshetras. There he has built, so that people will have a shelter whenever they come. Free guest houses, yes, in those days, Thakur's time. They are the works of kings in those days. Very rarely we see people doing such work that in holy places like Vrindavan and all, having temples and arranging for free food and stay. Whoever comes can stay for 3 days, have food, and go to the temples, they do everything, and then come away. So, this serving the devotees of God and serving God. He has established the temples, made the God to invoke God on this earth, and then serving the people. These two are sufficient. Actually, seva of the bhaktas, whoever comes, and then the love of God. He will surely reach the highest thing that Thakur is to say, Bhakta, Bhagavat, Bhagavan. Bhagavan, Bhagavata and Bhakta, they are not different. So, Bhagavata is repetition of God's name. Bhakta and Bhagavan. This is serving God and His devotee. It becomes immediately. If you sincerely do it, you don't need any other sadhana. Loving it, serving. God is after His devotee. God is devoting His everything as if for the sake of His devotee. He is ready to do anything. And God would be so happy if anybody helps or serves His devotees. Just like mother. You see any mother going with a child, just ask the child, what is your name? You will immediately turn and catch the mother. You will not even say show face. You go from that side, you will turn here. He doesn't know how to talk also, but he doesn't want to. You ask mother, what is his name? So, with great pride and joy, she will be telling. His name is this. So, how joy she feels when somebody inquires about the child. Like that, God feels so much of joy when the devotees are served. God is literally pleased and becomes trapta, santrapta, just by serving the devotees. Highest good a man acquires, the God's grace comes when he serves the devotees. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.